Now, one of the things that I'm liking very much this year, as I've already shared with you, is that for the very first time in an African soil, we are going to have the G20 summit, right? Which this is something, this is an important summit. I will stress the point again because some of the people still don't know what unfolds or what could take place from this summit. I mean, this is a summit that prioritizes economic growth and political priorities, which it's very, very important knowing that South Africa is part of this summit. I mean, already before the summit, we have had like the minister, of course, meeting that took place somewhere in February, which the foreign ministers came of all the 19 countries that form part of the G20 came to South Africa and they had a meeting. It was a fruitful and a nice meeting where our president opened that meeting up, and it was so great. And after that meeting, we have received some massive deals, right? There's been some international deals and investments that have came to South Africa, which already is showing the positive sentiment of what G20 will bring to South Africa. There's been EU South Africa summit, which obviously there were some massive investments that EU promised to South Africa, so that they will be bringing, or they want us, our trade to continue growing stronger, which by the way they disclosed during that EU South Africa summit, to say that our trade, two-way trade between EU and South Africa last year in 2024 went to over 50 billion euros, which is something that is just so great. After, over and above that, they've invested, or they are going to invest 4.7 billion euros to help with funding of our on our health, to help with funding in our energy sector, which is something that obviously that was so great, which came from that summit. Another thing that we have discussed already that has taken place, that is showing us what we could see coming, is of course the massive investments from both Google and Microsoft, of investing, of wanting to invest into cloud computing here in South Africa, increasing their cloud infrastructure here in South Africa, because they see a massive potential here in South Africa. Over the weekend, we discussed a deal of Google whereby they say that by 2030 they will unlock $90 billion because of cloud infrastructure here in South Africa, which is something that is very important. And as they are doing that, they are also going to create over 300,000 jobs here in South Africa, which is just so great, man. Already we are seeing these kind of things before the G20 summit that is expected to take place in November. And over and above that, like I said, there was a Microsoft 2 weeks ago where we heard that Microsoft is going to inject 5.4 billion rands into increasing the infrastructure for cloud right here in South Africa. And they are also going to be in creating job along the lines, which this is very important. So this summit is very important because that summit will also have something called the B20. So the G20 also have got the B20. The Big 20 connects the G20 government to business, which is something that obviously, knowing that it is coming to South Africa, there are a lot of analysts that are saying that this B20 could also help us to structure African free trade. You will know that African countries have been meeting, trying to find ways that they can introduce this free trade thing here in Africa, where countries, obviously, African countries are able to trade amongst each other for free, right? That is where they want to get to. But obviously, there need to be some policies. There need to be proper policies. There need to be proper structures in place for this to take place. And they are saying because of the G20 coming to South Africa, it could open and lead and help with making some of these policies to make this free trade in Africa to be possible, which is something that, boy, I must say, it makes this G20 to be more interesting, especially that it is coming on the African soil. So there is massive opportunities because of this G20 summit here in South Africa, not only for South Africa but for Africa as a whole, which is something that is very important, something that makes us look forward to this summit, because it will unlock massive potential here in South Africa and in Africa, and we look forward to that. So yeah, man, a lot of people will be talking about this G20 summit until the 22nd to the 23rd of November, where the summit will actually be. And before then, there will be meetings, there will be interactions between the countries, and this will be in preparation of what's coming. And who knows, the massive deals that would already be open up to South Africa by that time. Who knows, the massive deals that would already be in Africa by that time. Because what we have seen so far, I think we still got like what, 8 months before we get to November, and a lot can still happen, because just after the minister meeting, there's a lot that has happened, and I've told you about that. And this just simply means that there is more that we can still expect. There are so many good news that we can still get before we get to that summit, and we look forward to that. So yeah, man, I just thought I'd give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. Think Blue Sky. I think these are great news, and we look, or it makes us to look forward to the summit. Hopefully it unlocks so many doors to South Africans, creating more jobs and bringing a lot of business and investments into South Africa, which that will make hopefully everyone to be happy. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That's all from me, and God bless you all.